Damn it. Lenniget's soldiers.
Any way we can avoid fighting them?
That all depends on them. Whatever happens, be ready.
Well, so much for them not wanting to fight.
Holt! I am Lord Dohalim of Elden Menethia. I command you.
The rest of the city must be erased.
No. Have they been brainwashed too?
Brainwashed or not, if they want to fight, they got one. Not today! Dragon form!
Those soldiers seem different from the citizens we've come across so far.
Yeah.
They were indeed, and yet they're glade. I've never.
Maybe someone...
Well, with the.
Take this!
Your reflexes will not serve you well.
I never miss!
Flame inside me, yours to be let free.
We can... really make weapons with this?
No choice. Can't get out of this.
I'll smash you!
In an instant! Impact block! Could have been worse. Right, here goes!
I see one, eh?
Confiscated!
In a bind? Anything
Here's a
normal.
healer.
Tell me, have you ever considered your
Try this! Shine! Radiant light! This should make for some good weapon crafting material.
Go no further!
Swallow blade! Not today!
In a bind?
Swallow blade!
I'm ready!
Looks like Kratos is up on the wall!
Dragon form! Try this!
I'll heal you now!
Dragon form! I owe you one.
Let's keep our eyes on the prize. Those soldiers don't seem to have any qualms about attacking on sight.
Right, here goes!
I can carve through armor!
Time to cross blade! Now we're not You picked the wrong fight!
I'm ready! All yours, Kisara!
Am I on a roll or what?
Well, look who's in a bright and shiny mood. An opponent like this should be easy. Try this.
In a bind?
First force!
Take this.
Here's a healing arc!
Slide.
First aid!
Try this.
Leave the echo.
I'm ready! Get toasty!
Burn strike.
Here's a healing arc!
Slide.
Raging cascade!
Too fast.
Ten pack. Shut it up.
Now!
This should come in handy when crafting weapons.
Little help!
Now you'll learn.
I never think!
I'm going in.
We got your energy!
Another incantation ruined. Leave the ensnaring to me.
Yeah! And the pummeling to me!
Try this.
Do it!
Let's refrain from losing.
No choice.
You've got spirit.
Burn it out.
Healing circle! Do it! Now!
You think that shield will save you?
Ignite. Try this.
Small, but a victory nonetheless.
We have a long way yet to go.
This must be it. The entrance to the Forbidden Zone.
But it's just a wall. How do we get through?
Whoa, we? I thought this was Sovereigns only.
Alphen.
Yes! It opened!
Interesting. If Alphen's presence still opens the way, it would seem the Sovereign of 3 centuries ago and now are considered one and the same.
What?
What the?
Alphen.
You again.
Tomorrow's the spirit channeling ceremony. We'll finally play our parts as the Sovereign and Maiden. How have you been feeling?
What am I sovereign of? Shuffled from lab to lab, always treated like an experiment. Whenever they look at me, all they see is a Danon. I don't even know what their precious ceremony's for, let alone what they're going to force me to do as the Sovereign. Tell me, if we're both in the same boat, why do you seem so calm right now?
No choice. Becoming the Maiden's not something I wanted for myself. But they said Rena's prosperity depended on it. How could I say no after that?
Still, as a Renan, at least you got to decide. Good for you. Meanwhile, I was taken from my homeland. You aren't the captive one here.
It isn't right what they did to you, and I'm sorry for what it's worth. When this is over, I swear I'll help you get home. I can't do this alone. One more day.
How could I say no to that? It's not like I have any choice in the matter anyway. So, what's your name?
It's Naori. Naori Imaris. Try to remember this time.
You don't act like them. Like the other Renans, I mean. How come you treat me like a person?
Because you are. It's true we come from different worlds. But neither one of us asked to be here right now. In that sense, you and I are much the same. We couldn't do this. We wouldn't be able to talk to each other as people if we didn't see the humanity in each other. So I suppose the question you should be asking is, why wouldn't I treat you like one?
You're not like the others.
Maybe they're not like me.
Here's what we'll do. We give them their damn ceremony. You get me to Dana. That'll be the end of it. I'm taking you at your word on this. I'm trusting you, not them. Naori.
What the hell just happened?
That vision.
That person Alphen was speaking to.
It was Naori. Naori Imaris.
She really does look like Shion.
That's all very well and fine.
It was a conversation we had 300 years ago.
You mean all of that really happened?
But how is that even possible?
No,
Why not?
you guys didn't feel it? The moment.
I felt it too. And not for the first time either.
That would make sense, for all we know. Perhaps.
So you think it might have been the energy itself that was responsible for that vision we just saw?
We have no way of knowing.
Shion.
Yeah. It was all just a little sudden. So that was my ancestor, huh?
Yeah, there certainly is a resemblance.
What about you?
Me?
Even putting aside the question of where that vision came from, reliving painful episodes from your past.
I can't just pretend like the past. Besides,
Alphen,
that's not... I'd like to...
whether you're... Not that I'm...
Nobody's here.
Stay sharp. After that last illusion, there's no telling what could happen in here.
Faria!
Wait.
What's wrong with her?
Yeah. A summoning?
But that's preposterous!
We can talk later. Hit.
What? I've never known Faria to control Sugals like that before.
All that was a stone that was suspiciously like a master sword.
What the? Where did she get her hands on that?
First we handle the Sugals. Then we get some answers.
In a vine?
For their weak spot.
Now!
I'm ready! In an instant! Impact block! Azure Storm!
Ready to go! That'll bring you down.
Now!
Catch it up!
Really?
Take it down.
Eat dirt!
Now!
Reload! Light burst forth!
Radiant Denizen!
Now it's just her!
Faria! Can you hear me? Faria!
She's preparing another summoning!
The art she's casting is way too powerful to control. At this rate, her body won't be able to take much more. Johalie!
Forgive me.
Man, I thought we were goners.
Everything okay?
Yes.
Not her.
Shion, please.
I can try, but...
We're not even supposed to be in here.
In that case,
I'll take her.
You?
Avakir.
I was curious what you were up to, so I overheard what you said about Tarnigan.
And you believed me?
I like to think I know you a little better than that, Doha. I'll take Faria. I know better than to ask what you're up to.
Thank you.
He seems like a good friend.
He hasn't changed. As for Faria,
You don't seriously blame yourself for what happened to her, do you?
somebody in the same...
You're wrong. As for Tarnag, but that's why
Indeed.
you can't atone. I know it hurts to hear. Forgiveness?
So I just forget the harm I caused?
No, not for those already passed.
For those still alive.
Kisara's right.
That's what living's all about. Punishing yourself for the past?
Only fixing the problem in its stead.
That's right.
Don't forget, we've still got a mystery to solve.
Shion,
Huh?
thank you.
Glad to be of service.
I'm glad we could stop Faria without hurting her.
You all did much for her as well. I'm most grateful.
Oh, shucks. We're on the same team. What is it, Rinwell?
Yeah, it's that voice.
The will of Dana's astral energy.
What? There's so much astral energy. But where's it all coming from? It's almost like it's alive.
That was the spirit channeling ceremony just now.
What the hell was that?
Oblivion. It's the same vision as the one my thorns show me.
An empty void.
The visions of the apocalypse you've been seeing.
So,
That's right. It was as if her innermost thoughts were speaking directly to us.
that power flowing into her.
Maybe my thorns are made from that same astral energy?
If that is the case, no. More than a link.
I've never felt astral energy so powerful.
If it's the same energy your thorns are made of,
Correct. Dark...
And when enough astral energy gathers to... If so, maybe that complete oblivion is exactly what the Renan astral energy's will is with.
I don't know.
But the will of Dana is made of... I don't know, should we really be getting so involved with this thing?
Dana's will would never want oblivion.
But you can't say that for sure.
Let's keep moving. If it's Dana's will showing us these memories.
Shion's right. And I think they may be the kinds of truths I need to confront if we're going to keep fighting.
I'm sorry about...
Finally, we begin to understand what the thorns are.
Yes, and their source. A ceremony that occurred 3 centuries ago.
But we still don't know how to get rid of them. I just hope we can find a way. Soon, we might have to be ready to face anything. Whatever happens, I'm determined to... Hold up, you guys.
What is it?
I want to look through that room over there. I'm curious what we'll find.
That's the room you visited in your past, right? Sure. We can check it out. This looks like some kind of research facility.
A laboratory secreted away in the Forbidden Zone.
Looks pretty deserted.
Let's check it out. Well?
These are experiment records by the look. A composite being capable of controlling Danon astral energy. The creation of a governing central figure. Codename Sovereign.
Sovereign?
Wait, there's more. That must be the Master Cores. With all this raw data, there's
About the Lords.
Think about it. The Lords, not to mention the fact that the contenders to the crown are selected from otherwise regular Renan citizens. In other words,
What about the Sovereign?
where do I start?
What is it?
It's a list of names. It's your call.
Read it.
There must be dozens of test subjects listed here. Test subject number 1273. Ethnicity, NA. Alphen.
They re-engineered me.
Alphen.
It's fine, really.
Test subject number 10105. Volron.
Volron?
He's only sovereign because someone made him that way too.
He's the last one. In 3 centuries worth of records, you and Volron are the only 2 subjects on whom the experiment was a success.
But what about the winners of the crown contests?
Upon victory, the Sovereign shall return to Rena and rule when a new Sovereign is decided. But according to these records, it's all lies. The crown contest was never about deciding a new ruler.
But even supposing that's true,
Crown contests have been held this whole time, meaning that for the past 300 years...
The Red Woman?
It's possible. She could be working for someone else.
Either way,
What about the data records?
not that I can see. There's nothing here about who's behind all. I've barely managed to...
I'll do that.
So this is where Alphen became the Sovereign. And Volron as well. The significance of this location would suggest...
hey, it looks like the terminals in here turned on too.
We should look through them. They might contain valuable information.
Naori, I...
Don't talk. I have to do this. I gave you my word that I'd help you return to Dana. The next time you open your eyes, you'll be home.
But you...
My place is here with my people. I still have a duty to fulfill. I'm sorry for what you've endured. Rena never should have dragged you into this. It's not your burden to bear.
But...
The mask contains a sedative. It should keep your mind from tearing itself apart any further. Let yourself go to sleep. This should help with the pain. Time to go, Elfin. Farewell.
Naori...
His injuries are worse than I thought. Short-term treatment isn't going to cut it. I'll have to switch the healing pod to long-term hibernation mode. The chance of surviving hibernation's less than 10%? And worse, long-term use of the mask carries a high risk of damaging his mind and nervous system. But... If I don't head back, Lenegis will be nothing but ashes, and this starship along with it. I don't know if I can fulfill my promise to you, Alphen. But if doing this will grant you even the slightest chance, I have to try. I hope it's enough. Please, live for me, Alphen. That vision.
She sure went above and beyond the call of duty.
Even with Lenegis crumbling down around her?
So that's why you lost your memories and sense of pain.
Yeah,
Now that you know how she felt,
she kept her promise. If the Renan people she fought so desperately to protect are at risk from a malevolent force, Naori was the one who put that mask on me and made me Iron Mask.
She did it to prevent your soul from tearing itself apart.
This place. We've seen this in one of Naori's memories.
Of course. After 300 years, the spirit channeling this is where the Renis Alma was.
So this is the place where...
the Renis Alma isn't here now.
I know it's difficult, Alphen.
Naori.
What is this?
It's been a year since the ceremony. That day, I shut away inside of myself the power that caused Alphen to lose control. Since then, my visions of the future have grown more and more fearsome.
Is this another memory?
What we did back then. Not so much as a day passes when I don't think about it. All in the name of a ceremony. The purpose of which we were never even told. As Sovereign, they linked Alphen's consciousness to Lenegis itself. The Renis Alma was intended to control his power, lest anything should slip through its cracks. That day, As Maiden, my role was to temper his power. I was meant to guide it forth, and give shape to the strength inside of him.
Linked to Lenegis itself?
But that power showed me a vision. A vision of oblivion. When I realized that vision was a prophecy of the apocalypse we were about to unleash, I couldn't go through with it. But without a maiden, the ceremony was doomed. Alphen lashed out, his consciousness no longer his own. I did what I could. Using my abilities as the maiden, I tried to seal that power away inside of me. But it was too late. Lenegis had already been brought to its knees. Thousands upon thousands of lives soaked with the destructive force now slumbering inside of me. I knew I had to find a way to dispose of it, especially since that power was astral energy itself. In which case, ironically enough, that at least would hold the astral energy dormant. Assuming that no malevolent third party got to it first. With the Sovereign and Maiden's combined power, perhaps I could shift the chaotic energy inside me into the Renis Alma instead. That's what I hoped, but the Renis Alma was lost. And Alphen, the Sovereign, was in a starship bound for Dana. My only choice was to seal away the destructive force inside of me using my powers as the Maiden. The time needed for a new Renis Alma to be crafted. Even if by doing so, it meant I would be passing the curse onto my descendants as well. Please, forgive me. I never meant to burden the future world with this threat too.
Wait, you can't just...
Naori.
That message just now.
What?
These are the clothes that Naori and I wore during the ceremony 3 centuries ago.
So you're saying this is the Maiden's outfit?
That's right. These clothes are designed to resonate with the Sovereign and Maiden's abilities. They focus and enhance them.
And they appeared now because...
Naori must have left them here for the new Sovereign and Maiden.
These outfits are directly linked to the answers we've been chasing this whole time.
Locating the Renis Alma would allow us to neutralize the dark astral energy inside Shion.
It makes sense. By that logic, it would stand to reason that the Renis Alma would have the same ability on a larger scale.
We have a Maiden and Sovereign. Now all we need is the Renis Alma. And we'll finally be able to free you of your thorns, Shion.
It's possible?
I do.
However, the spirit...
You're right.
I know it's too... Just hearing their...
No, it isn't!
Rinwell's right.
Thank you.
Starting with a little game called Hunt.
Yeah, we've come...
Yeah!
I too shall lend my...
And they say...
How do you know it's me? Now let's get moving, shall we? So Naori sealed away the power that made she stopped my rampage. But then... I'm so sorry,
You're wrong. What happened to you was because of the ceremony, and you paid a heavy... The reason you lost your memories...
Is the
thorns.
It all leads...
When my thorns are gone, I never dared to dream that... No. The truth is, about a life, the touch of my... Holding hand, embracing all the normal things. I always wished... Is it really okay for me to believe it can... I'm so scared of getting my hopes up. What if it does...
That's not going... I'm here to make sure. Forget fate or death. We're going to live... a normal life. There are a lot of things.
Yeah, it's such a... I know, and it's for my sake.
You're worth fighting for.
I believe you.
Good. I'll keep on fighting. Until our future.